Call me a Tet hater all you want. It's fine by me. I think he's going to be a solid multiple year starter. And if that makes me a hater, then that makes me a hater. Bucs fans, this is Josh Capo of Pewter Report back at you with another top 10 video. But I'll be honest, it's actually a top 9 video this time. And that is really because when I look at the way I do tiers, when I set up my draft board, there are 7 tiers. And I only have 9 players in the first 6 tiers. Didn't feel like it would be fair to put that 10th guy who starts off that amorphous last tier for me versus all the others. So we're going to get the top 9 this time. And we're at the end, I will set it up in terms of roles and kind of stack the board based on what a team may need in terms of an X receiver, an F receiver, or a Z. So let's get to it. Now, tier 1, I have just one receiver in that tier. He is the top rated player on my draft board, and that is Travis Hunter out of Colorado. I have graded him as both a wide receiver and a corner. Funny enough, he is number 1 and number 2 on my board when we kind of delineate between the two positions he's likely to play at the NFL level. I do have him evaluated as a wide receiver just a little bit higher than as a corner. But if I were drafting him, I would probably start him as a primary corner and just create some packages for him to be contributory as a wide receiver, just because I think that's an easier path for him to be successful. It's really, really going to be hard if he is drafted as a wide receiver, spends most of his time as a wide receiver, and then tries to fit in as a corner on specific packages. But with him, the athleticism is absolutely unique. It has to be for him to keep up as the best athlete on the field while playing twice as much as everybody else with almost no breaks. And that also goes to the training that he has been able to sustain throughout his career to keep his body fresh while playing so much. And that's really incredible. It's a testament to who he is as somebody who wants to be successful and needs to be successful. The stop-start ability, the fluidity in his motion, his willingness and ability to win contested catches, plus what he can do after the catch, very complete. I think he has an opportunity to potentially be a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL if he's dedicated to that position and playing full-time as a wide receiver. Now, in tier 2, I have 2 players. The first is Ohio State's Amika Ega. This is high praise for me, but to me, Ega, the comp I have for him is Chris Godwin before his injury, so circa 2019, where you see that burst. He's a better athlete than I think he gets credit for in this draft class. He's got awesome hands, an advanced route tree. He's a great route runner. He's going to be a quarterback's best friend because he can be counted on to be where he's supposed to be when he's supposed to be. And then you add that he actually moves a lot better than I think most people think he does. And you can kind of see that in how he sets up screens and how he creates yards after the catch. The second player I have in tier 2 is Kyle Williams out of Washington State. He's got plus foot speed. He can accelerate and decelerate in the blink of an eye. He finds ways to get open, and he's probably, in my opinion, the best after the catch receiver that I've evaluated this year. He's got a better release than his size would indicate because he is under 6 feet. And I think his footwork helps him to evade jams and be able to win at the line of scrimmage, even if you have to put him up on the line. For me, I've got a comp for Kyle Williams of Jaden Reed from the Packers, but with a little bit more suddenness. Now, tier 3, 2 guys. Jack Besh out of TCU. I mentioned earlier that Ega had a Chris Godwin comp for me, and that was kind of pre-injury. Besh would be more of a post-injury Chris Godwin comp. Because he isn't as athletic, in my opinion, as Godwin was coming out of college or as Ega is. But he is an engine that helps offenses just continue to move forward with over the middle catch after over the middle catch after over the middle catch, all through traffic. He wins with bodies all over him. And that is somebody who is extremely valuable in the modern NFL offense. I also think that he's a better yards after catch guy than most people think. He can decelerate quickly to create separation and then immediately can get back into his speed as he moves from catcher to runner. The second guy here in this third tier is Luther Burden out of Missouri. For him, I'm betting on his traits with his high end acceleration and the way that his hips can transition in and out of stems. He's the type of guy that you want to create manufactured touches for him so that he can create in space. Now, he is going to need to refine his route running to earn the trust of his next offensive coordinator and quarterback. Moving into tier 4, top of this tier, I've got Matthew Golden out of Texas. He's a smooth runner with deceptive speed, but I just don't see that 4.29 40 that he ran at the combine on tape. Now, he's improved his hands at Texas, but I'm not sold on him as a yards after catch guy, and I think that he struggles against physical corners, which will make his transition to the NFL more difficult. The second guy I have in tier 4 is somebody that you've probably been waiting on, although the lead-in may have put the cart before the horse. But this is where I have Tet McMillan out of Arizona. Now, I'm obviously lower on him than most, but I still think that he's going to be a fine starter for multiple years. I do like his hands and his body control, but I'm just not sold on his ability to release against NFL quality corners. And I just don't think he's that great after the catch, and that is a skill set that I hold a lot of value with. In this fifth tier, I have Ty Felton starting it off. Now, Ty Felton out of Maryland, if you go and look at his first 4 games of 2024, he was awesome. He was the Maryland offense. His yards per route run was north of 3. They were running everything through him. 12 target games, 15 target games. And then he got injured in week 5 and kind of all of his production fell off. The nagging injury, he played through it the entire season, and you all started to see drop problems pop up that hadn't been there throughout his entire career. And I think that it was a byproduct of the nagging injury that he was working through. But I do think that he has better hands than, again, most of the consensus believes. But he's got a solid route tree. He's got good hands, and he's good after the catch. All things that I think are going to add up to a very good receiver. Now, the last guy that I have finishing out tier 5 for me, I have nobody in tier 6, but that's Trey Harris out of Ole Miss. He's one of the few true X's in this draft. He's got true downfield threat ability. The speed is real, and his hands work as a downfield ball winner, plus the ball tracking skills are some of the best in this draft class. So there are my top 9. Now, let's put them together in terms of actual roles, because it's not just about go get the best receiver. It's about go get the best receiver for the role that you need. For the X's, there's 3 of these 9 guys. Hunter is number 1. Tet McMillan would be 2. Trey Harris would be 3. In the F role, that kind of power slot, I've got Egbika and then Besh. And then 4 of the receivers work into that Z role. Somebody you want on the move. They're going to be better route runners, guys you want to create space for, and then that's where they work at their best. And that's going to be Kyle Williams is my top Z, Luther Burden, then Matthew Golden, and then Ty Felton. So there you have it. My top 9 receivers, did it in under 10 minutes. Make sure you hit like and subscribe to the Pewter Report YouTube channel. For Pewter Report, I'm Josh Capo. See you next time.